Hello, friends. Nicholas here. DIVO-Ted Talks, Devoted Talks. Maybe one of these days when Riverside makes the transcript, it will understand DIVO versus DEVO. Maybe that'll help the AI do it now. I don't know. Anyway, Devo, so DIVO, as in Devo Fitness. Detoxification, integration, vitalization, and optimization. Ways of living your life, taking you from where you are to where you want to be in a sustainable way. Sounds good, right? I wish everything would be sustainable that I've learned. I feel like with the current turnings of the world, I don't know what to predict. I don't know what to expect. I don't know where to turn. I don't know where to walk from or where to go or go from, or Lord knows. It's just a lot. And maybe one day we will. So anyway, getting back to the importance of this talk. Not every weight requires the same amount of force because it depends on the body and the shape and the leverage points as to what will be needed to lift it. And so development body to body to body is not standardized based on a weight. Just like when women used to come up to me and say, I don't want to lift a heavy weight because I will get bulky. Well, you probably won't get bulky if you haven't gotten bulky this far lifting weights. Generally speaking, our bodies will reflect what it is we will tend to become, but all weight and all force is not created equally to achieve the result that you're looking to have. And so I was thinking about that, right? Specific adaptations to impose demands, but what about specific requirements for growth that will depend on the forces that are inputted against you so that you develop and that you change and that you grow and that you become that which is able to either deal with that, be adapted to that, or will become the person that can get over that hump and then be further along in life or closer to who you are meant to be in your life because of what you are, how you are, and when you are. Let me see if I can clean that up a little bit. We don't know from our vantage point what it takes for us to become the person we want to be / the person we're supposed to be. And so if that is destined for us, and it is, to become who we are, different forces and our reactions to them are going to dictate what it is to get that. So just because I lift weights doesn't mean I'm a bodybuilder. I become a bodybuilder. Just because I lift a weight doesn't mean I'm going to get bulky. Just because I run doesn't mean that I am conditioned for high-intensity interval training or any other training outside of that. Maybe it doesn't equate to me being able to ride a bike or swim. But because we don't necessarily know our potential, just doing things to do things may not be the force that actually transforms us into that. Now, you can ascribe to whatever you want to. Sometimes I have seen people and they talk and they're like, you got to drive and you got to grind and you got to do this stuff. And for them to feel better about how life works and the patterns that life has, that works for them because then it keeps them focused and heading towards a goal. But I don't think that it's necessarily the work that they're putting in that's getting them to the goal. It's that they're still focused on the goal because of the things that they're doing. So let me say that another way. These permission slips to become the greatest version of ourselves, for some people, are striving and grinding and doing all the things that they think will do to get them there. But really, it's the forces of the life in connection with who you are, where you come from, and your unique expression of consciousness that dictates what becoming can happen and how long it takes. And so me lifting a weight, I develop muscle really easily compared to other people. And so other people who work hard think that they're getting the muscle from the working hard, but they're getting it because from the forces that are necessary, which may be showing up regularly. Whereas for me, I don't need as much force on the showing up regularly as I need the weight exerting itself on the muscle. I hope that makes sense. And so trying to step back so that we can move in ways that feel more like flow to us than work and grind and stress. And I don't necessarily mean grind, because grind is okay. Like we said, like if you believe you need to grind to get what you want in life, rock on. But what if we are spinning our wheels unnecessarily? That's what I'm talking about. What if you are forcing yourself to do things that are, diminishing or exhausting when you don't have to, but you just don't know it's possible? And so trying different things isn't a bad thing, but are you trying things to get to be the person you want to be? Like, do you even know? Like, are you quiet enough to know if it's something you want to do in the first place? Doing things you don't want to do is a surefire way to lead to burnout and disease in your life. Now, following things you do want to do and things that really move with you and are enhanced by who you naturally are probably always going to be more fruitful. Just like if you plant a water-loving plant near water, it's going to be more fruitful. And so we don't know the forces that are needed for us because we don't know exactly who we are. Now, what we're trying to do is based on pre-predications or premeditated, this is who I want to be in life, then we're trying to discover the ways to get there from our vantage point, which is still in the problem and not in the solution, although we're trying to get to the solution. But it won't be until we get to the solution that we know what was or wasn't necessary. And so we try different things. And so in many ways, I think some people are applying forces to themselves that aren't necessary to get to places they don't know, that they don't actually want to be in. Because if they knew that about themselves, they probably wouldn't be doing things they don't like, right? Like if you don't want to get up and work out, like people are like, you always have to fight that. No, you don't. There are plenty of people out there who know exactly what they want to do and they get up and they do it, right? Where we start to fall down is where we're neglecting ourselves and we're not feeding ourselves in the right ways. We're not applying forces in the right way. And so sometimes we're draining ourselves so much with the forces that we're applying or that are being applied by life that we don't have anything to give to the things that fill our cup back up. So, what does yoga and Ayurveda tell us about this? Look, it shouldn't be a struggle. Although life can be very emotional sometimes, it doesn't have to be a struggle. If I had had somebody to explain to me at a young age about death and what it feels like and what the process is, it may not have been so hard on me. But it was, because it was a surprise and it wasn't expected and it wasn't something that I could have ever imagined it to be. And we go, well, you just have to go through it. But also, if I understood more fully that it's a way of life and that it can happen at any time, I might not have been as negatively impacted by it, right? And so I was applying force to myself in ways to try to get somewhere in life, and then I missed out on opportunities, like, for instance, to spend time with my mom. Like, in many ways, I kind of wish maybe I had stayed closer so I could have seen her much more of my life rather than coming back and forth. Although I love my life as it is, and I love being in North Carolina and Greensboro specifically. But would I have made that choice had I had known how hard it would be to deal with the loss of my mother at a younger age? Maybe not. And so, to avoid getting crossways of this, bringing it back home, we all need different forces applied to us to get to the destination we're going, whether it is the greatest becoming of ourself, which is not always going to be the same as somebody else, right? Like, I don't want to push myself in the same way that Tony Robbins pushes people, because that's just not who I am. And I don't feel resonant to that. And I don't feel good about that. I don't need tough love. I don't need hard talks. I need supportive forces that help lift me up. I can already move on my own, but having somebody help me along the way, help me steer and help me guide and be there along with me is what I like. Like, Pitta energy is that drive and go. And if that's you, rock on. But I want community and I want support and I want structure that is you know, acknowledging what I need in the moment rather than trying to sell me something that I need, but rather providing what I need in the moment. Anyway, that's not exactly what I mean. We are always becoming, and the universe is facilitating that. And just not every muscle develops the same way from lifting the same weight. There's so many factors that affect that. And so, do I need to go to the gym every day? I don't know. It depends, because the force that is applied to the body to get the desired result is going to depend, because it really is the desired result. But also, is your desired result, does it make sense? Is it in line with who you really are, or your constitution, or, the station you are in life? And so this is all about evaluation and then contemplation about these factors, so that we can then decide, should I be flowing with life and feel like I'm in it and with it, or should I constantly feel like I'm stumbling? Lately, I've felt like I'm stumbling, but it's because I'm applying forces on myself to be things that I'm not. Like, I don't record these until I feel like recording them, and then when I get in my flow, man, I just get it, and I just do it. Just like when it's writing, and just like sometimes the most force that I can do is come and teach classes and then go home. And being able to respect that and understand that it may not have any consequence. I just may be making up some consequence, right? Like, your dreams didn't come true because you didn't call those 10 people. Like, these people who want to sell you services and want you to follow them are selling you these things to make you feel like you could or should do more, so you keep turning to them for that. But are they you? Do they look anything like you as far as their life or what you desire? If they are, then maybe that is the right choice for you. And maybe if you're resonating with what they're saying, like you're not doing enough, then maybe that's true. But I find a lot of times that there's a lot of talk out there, and there's a lot of extra movement out there, and too much movement without awareness and self, alignment just is a poison. Whereas the right amount of movement at the right time for the right reasons with the right intention is all medicine, whether it's mind, body, spirit movement. All right, my friends, I hope you move with ease of mind, peace of heart, and restoration of body. Be well, be free.